Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday night. I am Debbie Waidl. I am your certified migraine health coach specialist. We are here on a special day and time to do our migraine strategy call because I have special guests with me here today. I am so excited to bring you Nicole, who is a graduate of the Freedom From Migraine Method, a graduate of Destination Zero, now actually part of our team and in the Balance Health Coaching. And she has brought along her amazing husband, Dennis, with her tonight. So thank you guys for being here today.
We're honored. Thank you.
Thanks for having us, Debbie.
Absolutely. Oh, so glad you're here. Because you know what? We do this all the time, right? We get to talk to amazing women like you, Nicole, to hear your story, but we don't always get to hear how it impacts the family, how it impacts the spouses. So Dennis was kind enough to share his time with us today. And I just want to double check before we jump in to make sure that we are streaming live in the right place, because that would be a total bummer. So let me just double check Facebook here and make sure we are good to go. And I can see comments. I know I'm going to have Valentina over there. So everybody jumping in right now, give me a hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I am in New York, and I know these two amazing people are where it's much warmer and much nicer in Florida. We're like at opposite ends of the spectrum here. So let me know where you're watching from today and give me your name. Let me know that you have any questions as we go along. So let's dive right in. Dennis, have you always known Nicole with migraines?
No, actually, we've been married, blessed to be married for 31 years. And the first 7 were migraine free. But then unfortunately, she got a meningitis diagnosis, and then the migraines came. So she's had them for 23 years.
Wow.
So the majority of our marriage, yes, she's suffered through migraines.
So what was that life like, when you had to live during that time where she had migraines?
It was sad. We're very well connected. We're a great partner team, but it put limits on everything. The fun times, we plan, we do things. I mean, we were traveling the country on our motorhome some of those years, just living life, but it put a limit on everything. And, we're optimists by nature, but it made us less optimistic because they were coming to the tune of 35 to 40 a year. Weren't every day, but still, that's a lot of migraines. And
Absolutely.
Nicole's a trooper, and she fights through it, but it just took the optimism out of our sails, took the wind out of our sails a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I remember, Nicole, you were just someone that pushed through. So it probably didn't stop you guys from doing a lot, but it probably changed it, right? I
Definitely changed
imagine
it.
the experience, right? Do you feel, Dennis, that experience sometimes of what you did was kind of hampered by that pain?
It was totally hampered because normally we were both like the glass is always half full. We're optimistic, let's experience life. That's what it's all about. And then now it's like we were cautiously optimistic, almost like, man, maybe we shouldn't do it because you're not quite feeling well. One of them's on the horizon. Let's not do it. Let's be cautious. Let's do these things. And we weren't just living life to the fullest, which is a sad thing, because I think for however many years we're here, it's important to live it to the fullest and be the best you can be. And it was hurting us,
Yeah, man, I love that. And we have to remember that, right? As far as we all know, we get one time around.
Absolutely.
So if we're wasting it in pain, how sad is that? I talk to women almost every single day that have migraines. And, one of the biggest questions I ask them is, how many days a month do you feel great? Do you feel like that person you want to be? No head pain, no exhaustion, no anxiety. Like you just said, Dennis, worrying about when that next one is coming. And when people tell me like only 5 days a month, they feel like that, you multiply that up out of 12, that's only 60 days a year.
Exactly.
So Nicole, you might not have had migraines every single day, but it sounds like from what Dennis is saying, there was a lot of that worry there.
Yes.
Well, and I would get a migraine just from being excited about the adventure, excited about, living on a motorhome for 6 years and traveling the country full time. There's so much to see and do. And I just, I'd be so excited that boom, like what the, heck is happening, and I want to go hiking and I want to play in the snow. I'm a Floridian. So it's like, I'm hiking in the snow, having a great time. And, I did push through it because I didn't want to waste, every I wasn't going to just stay in the motorhome and not do things. So I'm like, okay. So then, over taking the medication because I still want to have fun, and then the rebound headaches. So it wasn't just a couple of migraines a month, because mine lasts 3 to 4 days. And then if I have the rebound after, or, then I feel a little bit better and then I get a rebound headache. But I didn't really have any other means. I had no other tools to help myself through all that.
So fortunately, fast forward a little time from when you had migraines, you stumbled across us.
Yay.
You decided to get on a call and chat with us. And we were talking about that a little bit before we came on live right now. So tell me a little bit about your call experience and what made it important for you.
Oof.
But do you want my experience?
Yeah. Because what we were chatting about, you actually had somebody with you on your call, right?
Yes. Well, since Dennis has been through this journey of pain and suffering with me, I felt that it was imperative that we both hear what Barbie had to say on my migraine clarity call. So we scheduled it at a time that Dennis could take time off of work and join me on Zoom. And it gave me the hope that I had been hanging on to for all these years, but I didn't want to get too excited about it, because I wasn't sure. Dennis had to leave the call and go back to his office here in the home. So I chatted with Barbie a little bit longer, and then I couldn't wait for him to be free to say, like, what'd you think? And it was just, I have to tell you, it was the greatest gift. He just looked at me with a big smile and just said, I think you need to go for it. And I go, well, I already having a follow-up call with Debbie. I think you and I met like the next day or 48 hours later. It was within a day or two of that call. And I said yes. And I'm happy to say that was a year ago, September 9th. So that was a big day for me. And I just can't tell you how excited I was. And I took off on a week vacation right after I said yes. And you told me a guide to read, and I actually got through that vacation. It was to celebrate my best friend and my new decade birthday. So I did exactly what you said. I went to those guides and I got my information, because I left like 2 days after I said yes, and started, implementing the first few things you said. And I had a migraine-free vacation. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is it going to be like when I get back home and really start learning? Because I wasn't listening to any of the modules, obviously, at that time or anything.
I remember that. I remember you being concerned. Is this the right time for me to start? Because I'm
I said, should I wait? Because me, the perfectionist, like, well, we don't want to start anything if I can't do everything perfect for those first 7 days. And then you're like, yes, join. And so I got the information I needed to have a migraine-free vacation, which was wonderful.
I love it. So Dennis, I was so thrilled. I didn't get to meet you on the first call. Another one of my team members was there, but it means so much when a spouse can be on a call and actually get the opportunity to hear a little bit from your wife about how she's feeling, though it sounds like you guys were pretty open with each other, and Nicole shared all the time how she felt with her migraines, which is amazing. But when she joined, what was your feeling? What were you kind of feeling about, is this good? Is it bad? It sounds like you were
I was so excited, because Nicole probably failed to mention, if anybody's the research queen, she's the research queen. And she's an optimist. I mean, an eternal optimist. So I can get this. Obviously, she's an RN for 30 plus years, knows her stuff. And she was just, there was little tidbits of hope, but nothing like what you provided. And then you had a systematic approach to it. And being in business all my life, I looked and I said, man, this sounds like just the program for you, because you put it all together. You have those very effective modules. But what I love is you've got a community there that's there to support, and everybody's been through it, you being a migraine sufferer yourself. So that is what's so unique about it. So it was an incredible opportunity for her to jump in. And I knew it was going to be successful, because she's just that way. She'll work hard at anything. And you've got the proven path. People just have to follow what you're advising them to do. And when you get a migraine, if you get a migraine, just dissect it and go about it. And it's a systematic approach. I just can't, because I would listen to some of the podcasts we heard from other people talking this up or talking things up, not your system, but theirs. Just wasn't impressed, but yours is a systematic approach. And I just sit back and I say, man, for 3 months, she didn't see a single one. And then when she does have them, it's a whole different kind of optimism.
Yeah.
It's I'm going to get through this. This is what I'm going to do. Boom, boom, boom. And so, in today's world where we spend money on streaming and all the kind of events that we spend money on, here you have a chance to really go into a proven system. I'm just very, very impressed. I mean, it's worked wonders for both of us, even though I was blessed not to have to suffer migraines. You can't help if you got a good partnership to feel their pain, to feel their misery. And the program just works. I mean, I just can't tell you. I've seen it in action. And it's not just one or two things, it's the process. And then you just are calm, cool, and collected. And when you're experiencing challenges, the team steps in, you step in, and you help the people. And I've witnessed that on numerous occasions. So thank you for your program. Thank you for putting it together.
Oh, absolutely. This is just my passion. It really is. And obviously we're thrilled to have Nicole share that passion with us now, because now she can turn around and share hope with other women in this group. For those of you who are thinking about, should I schedule one of those calls like Nicole did? Guess what? You get to chat with Nicole first, which is amazing. You can't, have the better person to talk to first, because you get to hear firsthand her experience and see how things have gone.
But you really have a great program. You give people hope, you give people a process, and you give them a community. And that's really what she was grasping for. Be little answers out there, but could she trust them? Who were they?
Yeah.
What were they? And she's more of a process person, because that's how nurses do things, in a process.
Yep.
And so,
absolutely. And I think it's important how you mentioned that it's not just one thing, right? We're not just throwing the information at women. It's really important to have that community, to have a community of women that know how you feel, or experiencing what you've gone through, or experience it at the same time. You're working alongside other women with the same goals, and having all of that is what brings the success. It's not just that research, because Nicole is one of the best researchers out there. We have 50 of them in the program right now, because you're all amazing researchers, right? When you're in pain, that's all you do. It's like, oh my God, Dr. Google, I have got to find an answer to make this pain go away. And it's not that the things that you found were wrong. It's just maybe they weren't right for you, or they weren't the right order of doing things, or it wasn't the right time to do that. So, and I think you found that, Nicole, that sure, some of the things that we talk about, you did research, but it just wasn't exactly in the same way, or right for you at that moment. So, but now fast forward, life's a little different. Life's not the same as it was over a year ago. So what's your household like now, Dennis? How are things different?
oh, it's unbelievable. That we're back to every single glass is half full. We're optimists extraordinaire. And again, it's not, before it was like, oh, I'm feeling some tension in my neck. I've got this, I've got that. Is something coming? And then we're cautious. We're not that way anymore at all. It's just, we attack life, we live life, and we're just having a great time. And we just trust the process. And again, there's just so many avenues for your people to turn for help, whether it's just on Facebook, whether, I don't know all the different angles, but you do a lot of good systems in place for people. So there's hope, there's that community. And it's, even though she's graduated from the program, she'll have it life for the rest of her life, that program that she put in place.
Absolutely. Because it is not about just,
Right.
Typically when we work with people, we work anywhere between 4 and 9 months.
Yes.
And it's not just about that time frame. It really is about what changes can you make that you can sustain and be happy with for the rest of your life. It's not going to do me any good if I said to Nicole, you have to eat cardboard, you have to work out 5 hours a day, you're required to sleep 10 hours a night, and I don't want you to hike anymore. And you'll be migraine free. You'd be miserable, right? You would be absolutely miserable. So it's really about finding what works for you and doing a little bit of that tweaking and adjusting to make sure that you not only can have that freedom that you want, but you can have the life you want. Because what's the good of not being in pain if you're not living the life that you want to live?
Exactly. And one of the things, because Dennis did happen to mention that I am the research queen, all the different modalities of treatment that I implemented over these last, for sure, like 8 years. I was determined that I was going to figure out what my root cause was, and never did find that out until I saw your video on the Women's Migraine Freedom page on inflammation. And that was just, I mean, that was just such a huge aha moment for me. And it's like, here I'm a nurse. I've picked all my neurologists that I've seen throughout the years that I really admired. And they just look at me when I'd say, like, I'm tired of the prescriptions. I want to know what my root cause is. And like, have fun trying to figure it out. So there's more research, but now I have the tools, and I got to put my research, my PhD in research. I got to throw that certificate away because you've done all the research. I just had to work the program, work the protocol, and do the very best that I could. And having Dennis's support to be able to do that, I think that he's probably gained some, he's gained a lot from it too, because now I know what I need to eat. He eats what I eat. His shorts are falling off of him. So, it's like, there are things that, that he
And he's
has,
still smiling.
yeah, that he's benefited from.
I've gotten healthier because of you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, you are welcome. You're welcome.
We don't have, and I think to be in this program, because my migraines, and I have found with most of the women that I talk to, is that we crave carbs, we crave processed foods. And if Dennis had, little stashes of things here, it would be really hard for me when I feel a prodrome to not go to the pantry, because whatever that is, it's screaming my name anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to eat it if it's here. So having his love and support throughout this last year, and not having things, if he's going to have something, he'll have it when he's out, doing something. So, and that has been wonderful, because it's amazing to me how my brain totally changes when I start to feel a migraine. It's like comfort. I'm just looking for that comfort, and the comfort foods for me are, the really high carb, ultra processed foods. So
for like, all of us, right?
Yeah, I don't crave a piece of, steak from dinner last night or
broccoli,
but I do now. That's really what's interesting. So in this last year, things have changed, and it does make it a lot easier to do the right things. I love it. I think having accountability in the program, you hold us accountable, and, having you to review my migraine tracking forms in the beginning when I was, had them occasionally, and pointing things out to me. I've never had that in conventional medicine. I've done the food journals, and there's nobody to review them. And I'm a nurse. I know documentation. I know documentation.
Yes,
so
you do.
It's taking me a lot of time to do that. And then, got 6 months worth of, tracking, and, oh, well, what did you see? And it's like, what did I see? I mean, I'm eating different foods, so it was like, I couldn't evaluate it myself.
Yeah. Well, it's just like saying, right, we shouldn't have a doctor themselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I even got support, for those of you who don't remember, in the very, very beginning, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew the research, but I had somebody that was kind of monitoring me and helping me to keep me accountable, because it's very important to have somebody looking from the outside. And this is what we eat, breathe, sleep, do every day. My whole team that is coaching and, with all of you, they've had migraines, most of them for decades, and now no longer do. So it's really important that's a huge piece to our puzzle. Oh my goodness, guys, we have so many people jumping on. So I want to make sure I say hello to everyone before I forget. We've got Cheryl on, and Shelly on, Valentina's over there, and Helen. Hey, Helen, how are you today? Got Brenda watching. Hello, Brenda. And Melissa. Melissa is actually a new member of the Freedom From Migraine Method. So glad to see you tonight, Melissa. And Misty and Royal and Maya and Heather and Tracy. You guys are popular.
Wow.
You feel like fans?
Hi, everybody.
So make sure you pop your questions in here right now. If you have any questions for Dennis, if you have any questions for Nicole, if you're watching this on the replay, please pop in #replay. Still post your questions. We will 100% be keeping an eye on this. Obviously, Dennis isn't in the group, but Nicole is. So if we see a question that's for Dennis, we'll make sure that we get it to him. And I know 100% he'll be happy to answer. And share this video with your spouse. I think it's really important for them to hear a little bit more about the journey. Now, Nicole and Dennis definitely, I feel, have a very unique relationship when it comes to migraines, because most of the women I talk to, they're not being 100% honest with their spouses. Their spouses have no idea how much pain. They know that they have migraines. They know they're suffering, but they don't realize to what degree. And I think it's really important for the spouse to be a part of the process, because look at the results.
Yes.
Dennis was there from the beginning. You know, he was there for the call. He chatted with Nicole about it. You know, they made a decision together, and he's been supporting her the whole way. Feels better, healthier. Had to get some new shorts, but hey, it's always fun to shop, right?
Yeah. Proudly get new shorts.
Maybe Nicole's going to take care of that for you, but because you two have been doing this together, that's why you're so successful. You know, you've supported each other. So Dennis, let me ask you, if you could have the audience right now, to every spouse that was out there who's watching their wife in pain or their partner in pain, what would you say to them?
Man, I would say just really look into this program. It is phenomenal. It's systematic. It's community. It gives you hope. And obviously, in our case, as many cases that we've heard about, you get results. So, I mean, you can't get that when you go see a doctor. A doctor's going to give you a script to treat your acute condition, and that's it. This is really unbelievable. I mean, the only negative to the whole program is my wife out eats me in protein now. And I was used to getting more of the steak than I got. So maybe that's a good thing too. My arteries are happier, but the bottom line is it's a great program. And it really, you know, when you think about the investment that you make, it's just phenomenal, because it's providing the process that's needed. These migraines, if there was a simple solution, you could just Google and they give you the answer. You can't get that. But it's just so sad when you see someone as beautiful as my wife suffering for really 23 years till she met you. And just like your name implies, it is freedom from migraines. Now, maybe not, some people might not ever have a migraine, but you're free of them. They're not even making you live your life according to them. You're taking charge. So, I mean, aptly named company. And I just couldn't believe there's no better way to look at a process and to spend, you know, invest in doing the right thing to get everybody as well down this road as they can. And I would just look at it, be involved. You'll be so much happier.
I love it. And he got my name to a T. I love it. Understood the meaning right there. It's not being shackled by your migraines anymore.
Exactly.
Giving everyone back the control. And I think that's what's important, right? Because we all make choices.
Yeah.
I was joking on our coaching call today that, you know, if somebody drinks a bottle of wine and they message me the next day and say, how do I get rid of this migraine? I'm going to be like, really?
Yeah.
But if somebody messaged me and says, I have a migraine today, I don't know what's going on, we can 100% help, right? Absolutely. So it's all about choices.
Absolutely.
And if that person's happy with that bottle of wine and their migraine, then, you know, God bless. But we want to make sure that everyone has that version of migraine freedom that they want, whether that's 0, 1 with a little fun every once in a while, or, you know, whatever their version is.
Exactly.
And I know what Nicole wants. She wants 0. And she and Dennis are working super hard, and you rarely have them, you know, and when you do, you have the tools.
I have all the tools.
And that's the key thing, right? We can look back and go, aha, I understand. I understand why this one's here today. And now we have tools and we have the knowledge to make sure that that doesn't happen for the next one. So
exactly.
Oh man.
It's been the greatest gift. I'll tell you, the best gift ever for our family, for the dogs. I mean, I wish you could interview them, because they would say it's so much more fun having a happy mom, you know,
one that enjoys the
hurry
walk.
Hurry up and get busy, you know,
isn't trying to hide with the sunglasses.
You know,
and get
the hat and hurry up, would you please hurry up, you know? So yes, and you know, I was going to say that to have Dennis's support financially as well, because you have to understand, through the years, I have spent a lot of our earnings on different treatments, and he was just like, I am all in, because, you know, we've already invested so much. And like I said, I did get gains from everything that I've done, and a lot of it was very pleasurable, you know, with my massages and such, but you know, I was picking and choosing things that I thought this is going to be the next fix. You know, I was doing, when I met you, hyperbaric oxygen treatments because, and that was self-prescribed, you know, and I was like, I just knew that was going to take my migraines. And I had about a week of no migraines and all of a sudden I got one. I'm like, okay, that's not the answer either. You know, so I was like, I need to do more research. And then thankfully you popped up on my Facebook feed and the rest is history.
And I think that is so important, Nicole. I'm so glad that you brought this up because I think we have to remember that women, I think, feel bad about going to their husbands and saying, I need to spend a little bit more money, you know, our money, this money that we're saving that we either need for retirement or we want for a vacation, or maybe, honey, you need a new car, whatever it is. And because you spent so much money, it might give some women this kind of icky feeling. Like, I cannot believe I have to go ask again. And what if this doesn't work? What if this isn't the thing? And now I've just dropped more money. Is my husband going to kill me? Right? So there is that feeling, but I can tell 99.9% of you do this, it's going to be the last money you ever spent on your migraines.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's the best money ever spent. I mean,
That's money.
and just like you said, you use the word shackle. I'm telling you, this program's a chain buster. If you want to stay chained to migraines and what they do to you, then don't do it. But if you want a chance to be a chain buster, that's what you'll do. You'll bust that chain if they just follow the process and the procedures. And you highlighted it before somebody gets a migraine. There's a process to analyze. What do you think? Before it's like, what happened? Where did we go? There was no way to even look at it. You think it was this, you think it was that, and it's just guesswork.
Yeah.
And now it's the analytical approach to how you got it, what you were doing, what are you doing, and then let's learn from that. And you know, if the goal is to be free of them, let's try to eliminate those things and go forward. And so, like I said, it's the best money you could ever invest in. I mean, from spouse's perspective.
Just looking at you too, it just makes me so happy. I could stay on forever, but I suppose we have to be kind to everyone's time and honor everyone's time. But more people are even popping on. Thanks everybody for being here. All right, we are going to sum this up. I literally could stay on and talk to you guys all night, but I just want to thank you again for being here. Dennis, I want to thank you so much for sharing your story. And this is going to be a gentleman's week. On Thursday, everyone should come back. And for our actual migraine strategy call time at 1:30, we are actually going to be joined by Cheryl's husband, Daryl. So it's going to be amazing to get to hear 2 stories from spouses this week and how their wives' migraines impacted their lives and where their lives are now. And guess what? Cheryl's story is just as amazing as Nicole's. So make sure you guys don't miss Thursday. If you want to be tagged on that video and you're afraid you're going to miss it, just comment Cheryl below. We are also going to be dropping a little bit more information from Dennis in the comments, so you can hear his written experience of going through, you know, this journey with Nicole. So make sure you check that out in comments. And again, if you have any questions or anything that you want to ask either one of them, please don't hesitate. You know, they both are being so kind and generous with sharing their story. They want to make sure that you get your questions answered. So go ahead and post those below. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for your leadership and for starting the program.
Yes.
100%.
You've made our lives better. So thank you.
Well, that's why I do this every day. So thank you so much, everybody. We will see you on Thursday. Here's to your migraine-free day, and we'll see you in the group. Take care.
Thank you.